Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Final Fantasy XIV patch 5.1 promotional site, which just released today. Apologies if I trip over my words a little bit. It is 6 in the morning and I've been awake for less than 30 minutes, so not exactly my full self just yet, trying to get this done before I start streaming for the day. Now, for those of you newer to Shadowbringers, I like to do this little introduction here. Promotional sites are very straightforward. It's basically selling people the new patch with very high-level information and screenshots. Those of us who have been playing for years, we usually turn to these things either for little sneak peeks into new features that may or may not have been talked about much at live letters, lore tidbits on upcoming content, or new screenshots, which regularly give us teasers of things that may happen, even if they are red herrings sometimes, as well as gear. A lot of the times we don't know what the gear is going to look like going into these patches, and we did get our first look of that on this one. Now, because we are dealing with post 5.0 story-related stuff, there is the possibility for spoilers in this video. If you have not finished the 5.0 story, there may be names or information dropped, occasionally in the descriptions here, so you've been warned both for this video and for your own personal visit of the 5.1 promotional site. So of course we know the patch name, Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty, and of course seeing the artwork. We already knew about all this, the heavy involvement with Yorha, Dark Apocalypse. Late October 2019, we are of course suspecting, and we'd be very, very surprised if the patch wasn't October 29th, 2019, with the next live letter being on the 18th. Usually makes sense for it to be 10-11 days right after that. And late October, that's about as late as you can get when it comes to Tuesdays. Now, scrolling down, we have a new story. Again, I did do warnings that there may be text or other things that involve story spoilers for 5.0. So, this is your last warning. You have now been adequately warned. So, scrolling down, for the patch, Hades is no more. Darkness at last returns to the mantle of night. But victory does not come without consequence. How will the Scions mend the wounds of this broken world? What nefarious forces would dare rend them anew? So we are, of course, still going to be dealing with the aftermath of what happened in 5.0, but we are, of course, dealing with the fact that we are still stuck there. Not we, but I suppose the majority of our friends are, including one that fully expected to not be there anymore after these events were taken care of. So we're going to be dealing with the aftermath of that. There are a couple of other screenshots, story-wise, that for some reason are not in the story section right here, but they actually are doing something new with the promotional site. Looks like they're keeping all the promotional images down at the bottom, which are also available on the Final Fantasy XIV press site. That's normally what I do for like thumbnails and stuff like that. The new challenges, I don't know if I'd call a dungeon that, but sure. The new dungeon, the Grand Cosmos. There's been a lot of discussion about what the actual point of this dungeon is, like what the story behind it is. I'm going to adjust it a little bit in the video. And we now have a description. Long ago, on the far shore of the source, a great palace was built by the elves, the Grand Cosmos. So that's the first thing, is this is not on the first. This is a dungeon that goes back to the source, which was a big surprise to me. An edifice of such magnitude is said to inspire envy in both the heavens, for which it was named, and the flowers that pervade its boundless gardens. As with so many wonders the world once was, its radiance quickly faded in the wake of the flood. So now it sounds like... So I don't know if that's just a mistype then, because it says the far shore of the source, and then it says its radiance quickly faded in the wake of the flood, which is, of course, an event that took place on the first. So I don't know if it's supposed to say the far shore of the first, or if it's a structure that exists in both the source and the first, or I don't know. There's some either it's completely intended and it connects the two in a way like the Crystal Tower does, or it's a typo somewhere. But it definitely sounds like it actually does belong in the first. But you can also see it kind of looks like it's in Lakeland, looking at the area, the trees that are surrounding it, and kind of the dark shrubbery, I suppose, that you can kind of see in the background. Let's see. Its radiance quickly faded in the wake of the flood, its halls falling silent, the throne sitting empty. That is until the palace was given new purpose when a mage claimed it as their sanctuary, their only company being solace, solitude, and a legion of familiars, barring existence to any foolish enough to seek an audience. So they do of course provide images you can see in the back. I'm specifically referring to Lakeland, and that makes sense because in Lakeland, one of the big stories is the elves that used to live there. You follow them around for the fate chain, and you eventually try to take back the name is escaping me, the large base in the top center, which is where another major story aspect actually takes place. A couple of them actually. Now we also get another look at one of the bosses that we're going to be seeing there. almost this like viney boss. This looks like it'll probably be the first one on the outside. And then we get a look at the armor set, which is somewhat reminds me of the Woad set, but with some more, I guess, modern takes. It's very werewolfy is the big thing I take away from it. And while it does remind me of the Woad set, I feel like this might play into something. So one thing that we learn when we go to Lakeland and we do that fate chain is that a lot of the warriors who control that base in the Lakeland, they've been transformed into werewolves. So it wouldn't be too surprising if this is kind of a play to that, and that the Grand Cosmos itself is maybe overcome with, as they've called, familiars, or the old elves that have been transformed into werewolves and have just kind of been wandering around there. We don't know that, but that's my speculation on the armor set. Oh, another thing, Viera and Hrothgar are definitely not in this picture. I had to double check with the Roganin, but they're definitely not in this. So I'm assuming the headpiece doesn't work properly with Viera and Hrothgar, which was the reason they were left out of this picture. It's very strange to me. I mean, it's definitely a headpiece that maybe doesn't work like the rest, although they all have slight variations of it. It is possible that the headpiece was designed with the old models in place, the ones that fit all the races except those two, and that it takes additional time for them to get it working for the various races. I feel like this is something they should probably comment on in the upcoming live letter, because it's definitely going to be a hot button topic for a lot of people who have since gone Viera and Hrothgar. New Game Plus, for those of you who didn't know, it's a feature that we shouldn't really need to talk about much. You can basically go back and reset your progress on older story quests and do them as a max level character. They'll even sync to the max level for things that are not dungeons. And it's just a way to re-experience the story, as they say, feeling nostalgic. And of course, they had to show our boy Hoshfont with that one. This is a little look at what the New Game Plus menu looks like, and you can toggle your New Game Plus status on and off. That way you can go back to your current stuff and do it without much concern. And it's broken down into chapters, so you don't have to do everything all in one fell swoop, even if you want to turn off your quest progress for some of those older instances and some of those older story quests. A lot of features are looking to being added to it. A Realm Reborn is actually not present in New Game Plus because they are reworking the Realm Reborn story, or at least the quest line and the pacing of it, in 5.3, or at least that's the patch that they're aiming for. So when they fix it up, they will add it to New Game Plus, so that everyone can go back and experience the new stuff. Fellowships are also here. These are basically like, I guess, almost like 1,000 player party finders in a sense, where people can join a fellowship with a very focused goal. You know, new player progression in raids, you know, hardcore raid progression, treasure maps, dungeons, weekly cap tomestones, hunts. And they can form party finders in the fellowships for more focused goals, and that they work also across your entire data center, so you can pull people from all sorts of different servers. And with that, we're hoping that this actually does work out, that it allows people to find things that maybe the party finders become more difficult, or to take certain things out of the party finder, such as people who use like Duty Rule Expert to try and find a static. You know, I'm hoping that it cleans a lot of that stuff up, but I'm also a little weary on its actual effectiveness, so we'll have to see. And then down at the bottom, we have some more media pictures. We have the Exarch, we have the Warrior of Darkness. We have some of the other pictures that have been shared in the past. We've seen these on the Lodestone itself. We've got one of the Exarch over there, and then of course we've got the pictures that were literally right above this. So if you ever just wanted to take a quick look at the pictures that are releasing with this press-wise, those are all there. I'll probably take a look at the actual press site and see if there's anything else added, and then we'll do a video on that as well. But anyway, it's about 10 after 6 right now. I gotta go get coffee, breakfast, the whole shebang, and fix this up before I go live for the day. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you're excited for patch 5.1. I know I am. But be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned. Of course, we'll have some more videos coming up as we wait for patch 5.1, which again, we are guessing, has not been confirmed, will be October 29th. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, take care.